All right, today's session, what we're gonna focus on is how to build muscle, build a lean physique in your 40s and beyond. Because when you hit the magical age of 40, it's not easy to build a lean physique. There's many things that could potentially hold you back, family, career, time, etc. So I wanna walk you through today exercises that you can do. Maybe you're someone right now who hasn't been training for a while. Maybe you've been out of the game for whatever reason, injuries, setbacks, or whatever. Life's come and maybe kicked you in the balls over the last couple of years and you want to get yourself back into the game. So I want to put together a workout today that you can do that's going to help you, push you in the right direction, give you that kickstart you need with specific exercises that men over 40 need to implement, because you're not 21 anymore. You can't be training the same way you did in your 20s. You're going to get injured, you're going to fuck yourself up. So we've got to look at training with specific methods, which I'm going to show you, with certain exercises that will help you give that kickstart that you need. All right, so we're going to kick things off with chest. Now, one of the most common mistakes people make when they're training chest is they don't do enough incline work. So as you can see right now, the bench is at a slight incline. That's because your chest is made up of two muscles, the upper and lower, essentially, pec major, pec minor. We want to focus more of our attention on the pec major because that takes up more of your chest. There's nothing worse than seeing someone who's got a chest, well, man boobs obviously the worst case scenario, but someone who's got like a complete lower chest, but the upper chest is flat, doesn't look good. So what I want to try and do is create a balanced physique for everybody, okay? I want you to look balanced, I want everything to look in proportion, so we've got to get that right, and we're going to start with upper chest. So we're going to start with dumbbells, and we're going to start with a fly. Now the key thing to focus on from a training perspective and the cue point is how you place your back. A lot of people, what they do is they place their back quite flat, and then they will fly like this, and the shoulders take over the exercise. Remember, when you're training a specific body part, i.e. chest, you want your chest to do the full work. You don't want your shoulders to be taken over or your arms to be taken over. So I'm gonna show you a couple of techniques which will eliminate that so you can focus purely on your chest. So number one, what I want you to do is make sure that you're trying to arch your back a little bit, all right? So you're making sure that your shoulders are down, but your chest is up, okay? From there, all we're gonna focus on doing is creating a nice wide path here and getting a good stretch. Pause at the bottom, coming up, squeezing hard at the top. What you'll notice, okay, when you look at people who maybe don't know what they're doing in the gym, to put it politely, you'll see a lot of people clanging and banging their weights together like this. They'll be training like this, making that sound. You don't want to do that. All the tension goes out the muscle, and you're essentially just making life harder than it needs to be. The focus, and you're going to hear me say this a lot throughout this YouTube channel, is you've got to squeeze the target muscle. Ben Pakulski talks about squeezing the target muscle like it owes you money, okay? It's not about how much weight you can lift. It's about how well you can contract the muscle. If you take anything away from this training today and this video, let it be that. It's all about how well you can squeeze the target muscle. So with that being said, you'll notice that I want you to pause at the bottom of the movement, and I want you to squeeze hard at the top, okay? So it goes like this. Slowly down, stretch, pause the bottom, chest up, coming up, squeeze hard at the top. You'll notice that the dumbbell is in line with my shoulders. I'm not going past that point because then it becomes a shoulder workout. So bringing it down, stretch, bringing it up, squeezing hard. Down slow, stretch, bringing it up, squeeze hard, okay? I'm just gonna get into this flow pattern. And squeeze. If you do that correctly, you should feel that your chest is feeling quite tight and you're getting some blood into the muscle, all right? So again, you don't want to be someone that's overloading your shoulder joints but bringing it all the way down, and you don't want to be clanging at the top. Get that balance right. Start here. It can be 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps. All right, now we're going to move on to incline press. Now we're outside today because it's beautiful and the gym's a bit busy inside. So it doesn't matter if you're using a barbell like this or you're on a traditional bench press, it doesn't matter too much. The most important thing is obviously the technique that we're going to be using. So what I'm going to show you today, again, we're going to keep it on incline because like I said, incline should be your main focus, especially when you're working chest, because we want to make sure that upper chest is nice and complete. So one of the major problems that most people make is their grip to start with. Usually they go too wide or they go too narrow. You want to make sure that if you're doing it, get them into a press up position, shoulders should be parallel to your hands on the way down here, and you want to look for that sort of grip, all right? And again, one of the biggest tips I've got for you is to arch your back. Don't be like this. If you're like this, you're going to get that rounded shoulder physique, which is going to fuck you up. This means your shoulders are going to take over and you end up looking like the hunchback of Notre Dame, which you don't want. Okay, especially as we go through the latter periods of our life, our posture is very, very important. So if you're someone now who's got rolled shoulders or rounded shoulders, retract your shoulder blades back. Feel like you've got a pen between your shoulder blades. You're going to retract your shoulder blades back. You're trying to hold that pen in place. From that position, you then go back, okay? You bring the bar up. Now, one thing I suggest you do, look how I place my thumbs here on those lines, then I wrap round. That is a good place to be from a grip perspective. Now, the key thing here is I'm going to bring the bar slowly down towards my chin. All right, slowly down towards my chin. The reason being, it activates more of the upper chest. If I bring it down to here, again, I'm pushing through the shoulders. If I bring it down too far towards my chin, then again, I'm activating the shoulder. So here is a great place to be, all right? From there, now what I want you to focus on this particular exercise is slow negatives or slow on the eccentric, which is the lowering of the weight. You see a lot of people in the gym, they're doing this, clanging, banging the weight around, and you know, they're not getting anything from that. Remember, the key thing we're focusing on is making sure our chest does the work, not our shoulders, not our arms, our chest. One of the best ways to do that is by slowing the tempo down. Okay, so this technique we're going to use is about having slow negatives, slow eccentric movements, a pause at the bottom so we feel the tension, and then push them through slowly as well. One of the big problems most men face when it comes to the gym is getting fucking injured. Now, you can't be getting injured in your 40s and 50s. It takes longer to recover. So by slowing the weight down or slowing the tempo down, the movement down, you don't have to lift big heavy weights. Again, remember, it's not about how much weight you can lift, it's about how well you can contract the muscle, all right? So leave the ego at the door. You don't need big heavy weights at all. You need to make sure that you've got the right weight that you can do the specific sets of reps on. So for example, if I want you to do 10 reps, 12 reps, I want you to be really struggling on that last rep. If you are aiming to do 12 reps and you get to the 12th rep and go, fucking hell, I could easily got 20, the weight's too light. You've got to go a bit heavier. And likewise, if you're aiming to do 10 or 12 reps and you get to 3 and it's like, this is too fucking heavy, then it's too heavy. You've got to try and find that right balance, okay? So you should just about be able to do that last rep, okay? So I'm gonna give you an example of what I mean here. So, let's bring the weight down slowly, and we're going to bring it down for a count of 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. We're going to pause at the bottom, okay? And then from there, we're going to push through, but through our chest. We're not going to jolt it. We're going to push through smoothly. 1, 2. Okay, then we're going to feel like we're trying to make our hands touch each other. All right, if you do that, that puts tension on the chest. It creates tension, it creates that squeeze and contraction we're looking for. So again, down slowly. 1, 2, 3. Pause at the bottom, okay? From there, smoothly up for 2 seconds. Squeeze at the top for 1, 2. Down for 3. 1, 2, 3. Pause, up for 2. 1, 2. Squeeze at the top for 2. 1, 2. And then down slowly, and so on and so forth. All right, that's how you're going to get so much better return on your investment instead of clanging and banging the weights around. The other key thing to talk about here is how you position your elbows at the bottom of the movement. So if you come around here and just check this out, you'll notice that when my elbows are coming down here, they're not crazily in here, they're not out there. I'm literally trying to keep my elbow underneath the bar. There. That way I put less tension on my shoulders and more tension onto the chest, right? That's a super important point to mention, okay? So if you focus that on that tempo, if you use that tempo and that method of bringing it down slowly for 3, pause at the bottom for 1, push through for 2, and squeeze hard at the top for 2, if you use that tempo there, you can use it for any exercise you do, whether you're training your back, your legs, your arms, chest, whatever. That's a really good tempo to use so you can maximize the work that you're doing, so you can feel the muscles do the work, and most importantly, stay injury free. All right, guys, thank you for checking out my video today. I hope you got some value from this session. I'm on a mission to help 1,000 men over 40 take back control of their health and fitness so they can step up and lead their family with certainty. So please do not forget to like and subscribe and to share this with anyone who you feel might get some value from it.